guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a couple weeks since I posted, and it's probably going to be like that for the most part. Just with my job, it's a little bit hard to be consistent, but I do post pretty much every day on my Instagram account, so I will have that link below if you guys want more of a regular short form content. I post reels there all the time, but sometimes I feel like the content that I want to post just doesn't work well for that. Like today I want to do a book haul from the Amazon book sale, and that just doesn't really work very well for reels. So I wanted to make a video and share with you guys the books that I got. I have them all kind of sitting over here on this little nightstand, and I got a nice variety, I think. I got the most romance books, which is a genre that I'm not as comfortable with. I don't read as many romance books. I tend to read fantasy, but now that we're getting into summer, I wanted to stock up on some romance books so that I can bring them to the beach on vacation. And I don't know, summer is just a romance time of year. I don't really like to read fantasy books as much, so I did get a fair number of romance books, and I am excited to share with you guys what I got. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and comment below any suggestions that you have for videos, or what book you're most excited to read this summer. I think was Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This was actually the last one that I put into my cart, and I ended up buying it because after I did my first round of books, I think I bought 7 then. This one and one other one dropped down in price even further, so I decided if I was buying the other one, I might as well get 2 and have them shipped together. I've read the first 2 books in the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver, and I really enjoyed them. I like the small town kind of cowboy romance, and I'm currently reading The Fine Print, which is a billionaire romance, and I feel like this kind of seems like a hybrid of the two, and I really liked Elsie Silver's writing. But this one is about Ford, who is a billionaire but lives in a small town, and Rosie, who was originally from the small town and has like been brought back to it for whatever reason, and I guess she starts to work for him. I think it's a single parent trope in here, which I'm 50-50 about. I've heard some pretty good things about this. I've heard a few people that kind of like didn't meet their expectations, but I've heard a lot of people really enjoyed this book, so I am looking forward to reading it. I'm just trying to decide if I want to jump right into this or if I want to finish the Chestnut Springs series before I start her new series. Is The Rule Book by Sarah Adams, and this one, first off, I love how floppy it is, and I am already super excited to take this one when I go to the beach in a couple weeks. I'm already planning on taking this as one of the books that I want to read, but it is a sports romance about a football player and a sports agent, but they used to date in college or high school, and now she's gonna be his agent, and it sounds like they kind of want to both kind of seek a little bit of revenge on each other, but obviously they have to work together and they have to get along. The next book that I got is one that I haven't heard about in a little while, but it used to be really popular on Book Talk, and that is Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry. This is a part of a series. I think it's a small town, and the main female character is a new cop in the town. Her grandfather is the mayor, and that's kind of like what brought her to town. And the male main character is one of the sons of like the most wealthy, prominent families in the town. So she's supposed to try to make a good impression on them so that the rest of the town will like her. It kind of sounds like they start off on a little bit of a rocky note, but there's also, since she's a cop, there's a little bit of a mystery tied into this, and I think that's gonna be right up my alley because I haven't read a ton of like strictly romance books. So I think having that little bit of mystery is going to be a nice kind of bridge between genres that I think I will really enjoy. And I've been trying to pick up a few more like romance series, and I really like the ones that have to do with like the families, like Chestnut Springs, where it's all about the different brothers. And so I think this will be perfect for that. And I don't know, it'll be nice to, I usually read romance books between fantasy books, so I think it'll be nice to have one that I can like step back into a world that I already know, but it's not quite like the same as a fantasy world. So I am really excited for this one. The last romance one that I got is another one that used to be incredibly popular, and I have partially not bought it because I don't love the cover of it, but that is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. And I think this is a hockey romance, and I don't know, I've heard a ton of people love hockey romance. I don't know like anything about hockey. Now my boyfriend watches it sometimes, and right now he's been like watching it for like the championships, and I kind of know the basics of it, but I feel like this is like a book that used to be super popular. But I don't know, I like that it takes place in college, and again, I like that it's a series, something that I can kind of jump back into. And I know that there's like spin-off books I think that are just coming out now. Again, I'm trying to find more romance series, and I thought about getting like Magnolia Parks, but that series honestly scares me a little bit, and I think that's something, same with like the Addicted series, they scare me a little bit, and I think a college sports romance or a like mystery small town romance are a little bit more up my alley, something to start with. I feel like a lot of times I hear people like dipping their toes into ACOTAR to get into fantasy, and I'm trying to like work the other way and step away from fantasy books and into romance. And so I feel like it's kind of fun because I think ACOTAR probably was like my bridge into starting to read like some romance books. So that is mystery, psychological thrillers, and I got two by the same author, and one of them is The Full Reason Why. This isn't an unboxing haul because I was planning on doing that, but I wanted to jump into this book right away, and I'm already like 100 pages in because I read The Housemaid last week, and then this was a part of the sale, and so I bought it, and I was like, I just want to jump right into the second one. So that's what I did, but I didn't know which package it was in, so I just opened like all of them but one, and I was like, well, it's not really an unboxing if I'm opening one box. But I got The Housemaid Secret. This is by Freida McFadden. This is the second one in the Housemaid series. Like I said, I really liked the first one. This follows the same maid and like continues her journey of what she's seen in her life working in like rich people's homes and kind of the secrets behind closed doors. Got The Inmate by Freida McFadden, and I actually saw this one at Barnes & Noble probably about a month ago, a couple weeks ago, and I almost bought it because I was buying way too many books because I was shopping with my brother, and he always convinces me to buy books when I probably shouldn't. But I did talk myself out of buying it because I had The Housemaid and I hadn't read it, and I determined that as interesting as this one sounded, I probably shouldn't buy a book by an author before I've read the book that I already had. So I was like, if I like The Housemaid, then I'll buy this one. But this one immediately stood out to me. Like my Barnes had like a full like end cap of Freida McFadden books, and this one jumped straight out at me. And it is about a nurse practitioner that takes a job in a penitentiary, and you know, their main rules are that you're not supposed to let them know too much information about you, and you're not supposed to get to know them. However, one of the inmates already knows her, and they used to date when she was in high school, and she's the reason that he's behind bars. So she does already know one, and he already knows her. And so then the last few books that I got are fantasy books, but like I said, I'm trying to step a little bit away from fantasy, but I still bought some. I can't help it. I am a fantasy reader at heart. So the first one that I got was The Cruel Prince This is a series that has been popular for a super long time. I feel like I hear kind of mixed reviews about it. Some people absolutely love it. Some people love the characters of it. And I don't know, I want to be the judge myself. And I don't really know too much about it, but I feel like it kind of gives off ACOTAR vibes, as her parents were murdered and she's sent to live with like the Fae. And I think this might be YA. Don't quote me on that because I don't know. I picked up a lot of first books in the series because I didn't want to buy a full series and then hate it and then have the whole series. So I just was like, I'll pick a bunch of first books and series, and I did the same with like the romance ones. That way I can still kind of choose which one sounds the most interesting to me at the moment, and then I can buy the other books later on. But I think she's working on a spin-off series of it now. So the series itself is completed, which is something that I like because I don't like having to wait for books to come out, especially when it's like years down the line. So another fantasy book that I picked up that is the first in the series, this one, I don't think it's complete. There's a second book out, but I don't know how long the series is going to be in the end. And that is Lightlark by Alex Aster. And this one kind of sounds like a Hunger Games idea. It says that there's an island that appears only every 100 years for only 100 days to host a deadly game, and like all the different realms have to go there and try to break their curse, but there can only be one winner and someone has to die. What I do know is that I follow Alex Aster on Instagram and I think TikTok, and I've seen her posting about it and it sold me on the book. The cover is beautiful and I don't know, I just thought it seemed really interesting. Don't know how many it's going to be, but I hope it's going to be a somewhat short series because that is what I'm interested in right now. I want books with like 2 to 4 books in them so that I'm not diving into another Throne of Glass length series, because I read that last year and I loved it. It's all-time favorite series, but it is a commitment and I'm just not in the mood for that right now. I'd rather have a bunch of different short series, so I'm hoping this one isn't as long. And then the last one that I picked up, I was truly shocked that it was on sale and that it was, I think it was like $9.99, something like that. And that is Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and I got the hardcover version. This was the other one that I had in my cart and I was going back and forth, and then the price dropped to less than $10 and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. And so I bought Wild Love at the same time, and this one I am really excited about. I want to pick this one up pretty soon because I think her next book in the series comes out in July, and she just like released the short series or the novella, and I have no clue what this book is about other than people who have read it. Like I know Sarah Crowley talked nonstop about this when it came out last year, and people say like if you like ACOTAR that this is another series to read. One of my friends at work read it. I want short series, and so I think this is gonna be exactly what I want right now. Again, I don't know how long the series is gonna be at the end, and maybe it's a mistake. Maybe this is gonna be just as long. I'm gonna read this, and then on my Kindle I want to read Serpent and the Wings of Night before that book comes out in November. Yeah, that is kind of my reading plans for right now as well. I don't know, I know I'm behind on some of these books like Powerless, but for me, when a book gets too hyped, I don't want to read it. Like if it starts getting hyped, I'm interested. If it gets super hyped, I'm not interested anymore because I don't want it to not meet my expectations. Like I feel like my expectations go way too high when it's really hyped up. So personally, I wait for it to come down a little bit, and then I can form my own opinions about it. And that was my haul. So all in all, I got 3 fantasy books, 2 thrillers, and 4 romance books. these were all of them. Like I said, all of them were under $10, and I had a gift card that I got for Christmas that I'd honestly been waiting until there was a book sale. So like half of these books were technically free because it was a gift card, so therefore I didn't have to pay for them. But if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And like I said, if you have any ideas on what you want to see, if there's a specific book here that you would like me to do a reading vlog on or a review, let me know, and I will see you guys next time.